Alright, so let's talk about Kael. Everyone knows who Kael is. This is the most popular starter champion. Almost everyone that has looked at any guide has seen whether you should pick this guy. I mean, everyone is recommending that you pick this guy. There's a few other suggestions, but ideally this is the guy you gotta go with. However, today I want to talk about how you want to build him, what you want to do with him, and also, is he really worth it, and whether you can actually use him later in the game. Now, if you guys are new or if you just started playing the game, I would urge you to click the link in the description, or you can also start a new account. You can scan the QR code on the screen, and you will of course get Kael. You would pick it up as the starter champion. Then you will get Tagore, which is this awesome guy here. You will get him immediately. You will get Ugo at level 15, and then furthermore, you can also go into the promo codes here. You can type in Monkey King, so you're gonna get another legendary. There's also the Alice Chase, and furthermore, I've also got a clan. I've currently got 19 members, so I would urge you if you guys could join it as well. Now, today I want to talk about Kael. So, as you guys might know, this is the champion everyone is recommending as a starter, and I would do the same. Unfortunately, because when I started the raid a few years back, I didn't really play it, so I picked the coolest looking character because I like orcs, and I picked Galek, which ended up being a pretty big mistake. I mean, I can't really blame this guy. He's only level 50, but I found him pretty useless. But let's be real, I mean, just look at the gear I have. I mean, this doesn't even match. Like, this is some really garbage starter gear that I had, so it's a bit unfair, but I would say, I mean, overall, Kael is really a better option. I'm literally still using him up to this day. I mean, it's crazy how versatile this rare is, and interesting enough, I didn't even pick him as a starter. As I said, I got Galek. However, I got Gale from a Sacred Shard. Not a Sacred Shard, from one of those blue shards, and I've also literally just pulled him again yesterday, so currently I got 2 kills. Unfortunately, as this is a rare, you can't really bind them together to get a boost on the general stats, and it's very easy to book. I mean, Kael, you just gotta get the rare books. So this is like the let me just check if I even have any. Yeah, there's nothing left to do because I booked him ages ago. So, the coolest thing about Kael is, first of all, he's free. Second, he's really simple to book. You have no idea, like, if you just start playing the game, you have no idea how hard it is to book some of these legendary champions. I mean, I think I only got one fully booked legendary champion. Like, the legendary books, especially the mythic books, are super, super hard to come by. However, you can max this guy easily. I was also fortunate to get one of those all the Altar of Souls. I managed to actually awaken him, so I got almost fully maxed out. Like, this is not the most optimal build, but this guy is pretty maxed out. I mean, 57k power almost, full gear, ascended gear, decent-ish accessories here, but not exactly amazing. I even got an equipped relic, which is not great, but this is the only one I had. I got him, as I said, fully booked. I've got him awakened, and I got all the masteries finished. So this is really as far as you can take him. However, this guy is literally very useful. I mean, I'm still sometimes using him in PvP. I'm using him in he's my main farmer. I mean, this guy is amazing for farming. If you go to 12-3, and if you just like go at let me just check, like here with the main campaign, like if you just go into the campaign, you go brutal difficulty, go to the farming stuff, stage 3. I mean, you can put level 1s, this guy's gonna finish it in 30 seconds. So, perfect farmer, ideal champion. Like, if you guys are starting the game, literally put all your effort. Don't do the same mistake I did. When I started the game, I was leveling up like a whole bunch of champions that I thought looked cool, so I spread way too thin. Like, literally, if you're just starting, hyper focus on this guy, because once you get him to level 60, once you upgrade him, you can literally use him to farm other champions, farm masteries. I mean, he's a perfect starter. Now, he does kind of fade out, of course, as a late game champion, and currently I believe he's ranked as an A tier champion. I believe Hellgate is ranking him as 3.5 out of 5, which I wouldn't agree with. I would put him at 4 because it's crazy, like, when you compare the fact that he's very easy to get. You could get him for free if you're starting an account. I would say he is pretty good. Now, let me just quickly go over his abilities. He has this A1, which is just a single target attack. It places a poison, so he's got good poison abilities, which is not the most ideal in the game. I mean, there are better poisoners, but it's pretty good. I mean, this can be pretty useful. Also pretty useful on bosses. Also pretty useful with some masteries where you can get like single target attacks to stack. You also got this Acid Rain, which is his main ability. Like, this if you got decent gear, if you got him decently leveled up, you can essentially obliterate entire waves. Like, this is what makes him a great farmer. Attacks all enemies, he has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit, and then fills the turn meter of this champion by 25% for each enemy killed. Like, very often, unless you're doing like max Doom Tower, you can kill enemies with this. And then of course he has a poison, Disintegrate level 6, which you can lower with a cooldown with a super easy to get rare books. So he attacks 4 times at random, he has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Like, this combined with this can be very good. Now his aura is pretty garbage, I would say. I mean, it increases ally HP in all battles by 15%, really not good. I mean, a lot of other champions, for example Tagore here, he has a 25% HP. Well, Melga unfortunately doesn't have the best one, but even Geomancer has 25% HP. Not ideal, but it can really help you out. Like, if you don't got a lot of stuff going on, this can help you out. So, in terms of the gear, I don't have the best build. I mean, unfortunately, like, you can look at the most optimal guides online when you're starting out, but the thing is, like, when you are starting out, like, you're gonna build with what you have. For some reason, I believe I got this from a promotion or some sort of event from a few years back, but I did manage to get a lot of this legendary Righteous gear, so I put that on him early at the start. But unfortunately, I mean, if you're starting out, don't focus on sets, don't focus on the most optimal things out there. I mean, ideally, just build with what you have. Ideally, you want accuracy, you want speed, you also want attack and some decent-ish defense. Now here, when I look at it from this perspective, I mean, the speed is pretty garbage. This is pretty terrible for PvP. This is why he's kind of obsolete at the moment with my rank in PvP. But accuracy is not really that great, okay-ish. I've got decent attack. Like, attack is okay. And also the crit rate, I mean, it leaves more to be desired. However, he's not one of those champions where crit rate is essential. I mean, there are some champions where if you don't got crit rate, they're essentially useless. So this can help do damage, but ideally you want accuracy, speed, and attack. Like, you want to focus on attack. Speed is, of course, very important. I mean, it is the most important stat in the game, but it isn't the most important thing for PvE. I mean, you can use him pretty well. I mean, even with these suboptimal stats, I found him pretty useful. So, ideally, you want to put, I mean, you can put speed, you can put perception gear. Some people are recommending lifesteal, a lot of people are recommending the initial lifesteal gear that you get. I would say this is pretty good. If you got good lifesteal gear with good stats, you can use him. He can be very, how can I say it, sustainable with the lifesteal gear. However, unfortunately, I mean, I've used a few lifesteal gear sets. I mean, lifesteal gear is not the S tier gear you got out there. I mean, it can work if you got good damage, but yeah, it just kind of depends on what you get going on. However, for the start, I mean, you can just use the speed accuracy gear, and also you can always use perception gear. I mean, perception gear is one of the easiest gear that you can farm in the game. I think I got like, well, I sell a lot of it in order to make silver. However, as you can see here, let me just show you the perception gear. I mean, I got a ton of it, like super easy to farm if you're doing faction wars and if you're doing a lot of other events, but this is one of the cheapest and the most easiest to obtain gear, and it can be very useful. Accuracy plus 50, speed, accuracy plus 40, speed plus 5. So if you got this could be a great start. I've had this Righteous gear, which is an okay-ish gear set. And not exactly ideal for a champion like this because resist is not that important. I mean, it is not a key stat, but the speed increase is okay. I mean, it's 20% increased speed, and also cruel gear can work. Ideally, if I was building him again, I might put like 1 perception instead of the righteous, or 1 more cruel, because this cruel set can be pretty good. I mean, ignores 5% of enemy's defense. If you got 2 sets, you're gonna get 30% attack, which is a pretty big deal. And ideally, you also want to focus on attack percentage, not just straight attack, but you know, this is like basic raid stuff. So, in terms of the accessories, I mean, as you can see, I've ascended it, but some of these are pretty garbage. This is only rank 4. As I said, I built this when I started. Currently, actually, I think this is the first one that I had. I mean, this amulet was actually the first one that I upgraded 3 stars, which is pretty garbage. I mean, not a lot of people are actually building the most optimal Kael. I mean, Kael is one of those champions where you want to put everything you have into him, and then after that, you kind of just want to spread to other characters. But I wouldn't say he's obsolete. I mean, I'm literally still using him all the time. I'm still sometimes using him in Doom Tower. I'm sometimes using him in clan stuff. I'm using him sometimes in PvP, depending on who's got going on, because he's actually a pretty good PvP character. I mean, this thing attacks everyone, and this poison can work pretty well if you got decent stats. However, if you are getting him for PvP, I would say focus more on speed and accuracy. Like, this would be a lot more important than it would be for PvE. So, other than this, I would say, I mean, Kael is a very good character. I mean, 2025, he's still very, very useful. So I would urge you to actually get him if you're a starter champion. If you're for your starter champion. So if you guys are just starting out, or if you're just started an account but you don't got a lot going on, I would urge you to create a new one. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Pick Kael as the starter champion and build him as I just said in this video. Then you will also get Tagore, which is an amazing support. I got him fully leveled up. Like, this guy is absolutely crazy. Then, after this, you're gonna get Ugo at level 15. Then you can also get the Alice champion that I've also covered in the previous video, which is an amazing attacker. Then you can also go into the new promo codes. You can type in something like Monkey King to get the Sun Wukong, which is a very good champion. You could also, for example, get Loki. Type in get Loki to get Loki, who is also a very OP character. So, just with my start alone and picking Kael, I mean, you're gonna have like 6 very good characters for the start. I mean, Kael is gonna carry it a lot, so I would urge you to pick this guy. Don't be me, and don't pick Alec. And also, if you guys need a clan, because you always need a clan. I mean, if you're starting out, focus on joining a clan, because doing clan stuff is essential. It can also help you get energy. I've created a new one. I mean, my own one, about a month back. We currently got 19 members. We're kind of pushing. We still need some support. So I would urge you to join the Arena Syndicate TS4A. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.